Dela writes, my MVVs, welcome. The same Baba Kudimi who cooked evil in Kpase forest now wanders without the home, as Oba banished him out of Ilara town, after the banishment from Ile-Ife. They say when a man's plan turns along the path, he must remember he too may one day walk that same path barefoot. That has become the story of Baba Kudimi. Once feared, once respected, now reduced to a wandering shadow, moving from town to town with no place to call his own. The same man who once boasted of his powers in dark corners of Kpase forest in Oda, the same one who cooked the evil that nearly took the life of the jewel, now sleeps under trees and abandoned hut with no roof, no fullers, and no shrine. When the people of Ife dragged him out like a dog that had eaten its master's food, the shame alone broke his spirit. He had been the one who proudly confessed that yes, he was part of the evil work planned in Benin Republic, and yes, he did it with others. Not out of anger, not out of ignorance, but out of jealousy and hatred for a woman who carried light whenever she went. But after his banishment, life started punishing him faster than the gods themselves. He thought he could find refuge in Ilara town, where his late mother once lived. But his presence brought nothing but unrest. From the very night he entered, strange cries began to fill the air. God screamed in the middle of the night, and people said they saw shadows moving without bodies. The chief became worried. The elders restless, the call for divination, and the oracle revealed that the stranger who had just come into their midst carried the curse of the gods of Ile-Ife. The same gods he mocked when he joined hands with others to destroy the jewel's destiny. At first, Oba of Ilara refused to believe it. He had known Baba Kudimi years ago as a traditional healer who treated people with herbs. But after the confession reached him, after people began to speak of what Kudimi did in Kpase forest and how his hands were soaked in ritual blood meant to silence a royal woman, the Oba could no longer keep quiet. He summoned Baba Kudimi to his palace, asked him questions, but all the man could do was stammer and tremble. Oba me, he said, I only followed the instruction. I was not the one who started it. But even that admission sealed his fate. The chief said no man who carried such a dark past should be allowed to stay, among them. Before sunset that day, the Oba gave his final order that Baba Kudumi should leave Ilara town before dawn, never to return. That was how he was banished again, twice cursed, twice rejected. First by Ile-Ife, now by Ilara. He left that evening, walking barefoot, clutching a small leather bag that contained the last remnants of his so-called power. But even those charms failed him. Each time he entered, he was either chased away or ignored. The one boastful man who used to command fear now begged for food by roadside. And that is why most times when you see some of these people, a lot of them, you will have to probe to find out what they have done, because some of them too, they have like very dark past. It's like retribution. They are suffering for what they have done in the past. But I know that Africans are very, very compassionate people. When you see things like this, most cases you want to help. It's good to help. But sometimes you need to know that things are happening in this world. Things are happening. Tales are happening. Ilara, if you ever heard of Baba Kudimi that was banished, is this man. That is what he did. And you know that the jewel will continue to expose them one after the other. Now, we don't know what will happen to Ikpio, but they said it's so much that is going on already. So much already going on. Honestly, in the palace, they say it is hot. So hot already. It is not a small thing, no, daylight. They say if you saw Baba, you'll be so, you feel so bad for him. I said, no, I will not. Oh. When people are wicked, it's good for them to pay. I'll bring you more updates. Do not forget that these are all alleged, rumored, unverified information making the rounds on social media and shouldn't be seen as fact.